So I believe context is king, so before I get into this review, I will provide you with my history of Madden. If you're not interested in that, there's going to be time codes, obviously. But my history with the Madden franchise, I've been playing pretty much every single Madden every single year since Madden 12. I've put way too much time into this franchise in every single game that's came out since then. My friends who I used to play this game with don't even play it anymore, but every single year I still put a good chunk of hours into it. And Madden was my introduction to football. When I grew up, I didn't have a high school football team, so there wasn't like this interest in football. My family is more of a baseball family, so I was never really interested in football. But Madden 12 got me into football. And honestly, it got me back into sports. Because at one point in my childhood, I stopped caring about sports. But Madden and like NBA 2K12 got me back into sports. And like, it's one of my favorite things to do. Or like, I got really into it more recently. I'm trying to turn myself into more of a casual fan. Because I just don't care about the meaningless stuff anymore. I enjoy watching my favorite teams. I watch a good game from time to time, but I'm less concerned with watching every single NFL game or every single NBA game. I think it's just kind of a big waste of time. And I hate like the fan arguments, like who honestly cares who's better? Like, I don't know, whatever. And Madden was kind of my introduction to making YouTube videos. In August 2015, I started making videos with a Madden 16 video. I mean, I made an Airsoft video like 11 years ago, but it was kind of my first introduction into making a lot of like consistent uploading. When I never really was a consistent uploader with Madden, but it was kind of I would start that as me being a YouTuber, even though I wouldn't call myself that because I'm not big. I mean, with Madden, I did garnish around 1,000 subs and I've uploaded like 300 Madden videos, but you know, it's hard to explain, but I guess you get the point. Like with Madden, I learned so many things. Like I learned Adobe Premiere, I learned Photoshop, I learned Final Cut Pro. That's what I used to use, and like it kind of like was the groundworks into making these type of videos. So I can always appreciate it for that. And with Madden, being a Madden YouTuber, I've met some of the nicest and coolest people playing this game, and I've also met some of the biggest assholes I've ever met in my life because of this game. So, yeah, that's the context. I'm not just some random guy that's never played the game before or barely plays Madden. I'm not a guy who just plays exhibition mode every year. I've put the time into the game. I think my opinion should be justified or at least considered. So, yeah, let's get into this. Okay, I know every single sports game has this mode and Madden's had it forever. I'm using this to mainly talk about the core gameplay of the game. And so far, it's pretty good. Nothing seems to be overpowered. Last year, the run game was completely broken. The X factors or even just like abilities were just too OP. Like Jukebox was insane and all this stuff. But this year, it seems pretty balanced. But something will inevitably be discovered and eventually the game will be broken. You can't make a perfect game, but so far I'll give them credit for the launch. It's a pretty balanced game. I wanted to have a guy on here to talk more in depth about the gameplay, but he never got back to me, so that's cool. Thanks, Taylor. But my experience with the gameplay, it's pretty balanced, but it's still like the same Madden gameplay it's been for years. And I'm just like so desensitized to it. Like, I don't know, it's not fun. It's just kind of like the state of flow at best. And a lot of times it's just boring. Why? Why is this even a mode? Face of the franchise is something I've never touched before, but I felt like if I'm going to review this game, I have to give it its day in court. So it's a career mode where you follow your player from high school to college to the pros, and it's filled with cutscenes. It has Snoop Dogg. John Voight plays your coach because, you know, he played that coach that one time in Varsity Blues from 1999. Your main rival is played by the guy who is the lead of Ready Player One, that great movie. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but you eventually hit this point in the story where there's no longer dialogue and it's just characters moving their mouths while subtitles are telling you what they say. So it kind of ruins the whole first half of the story. The gameplay was initially very buggy for me in this mode, but after a while it fixed itself. But the gameplay was stuck on rookie difficulty. You can't change it. There isn't even a settings option in this mode until you hit the NFL. For your high school and college career, you play on rookie difficulty. And it took me 3 hours to get to the NFL. So basically, I played all these games on rookie, and being an experienced Madden player, this was just so boring and bland. It literally just wasn't fun. If you want me to get invested into the story, at least have good gameplay to go along with it. And also, you have to be so brain dead stupid to fail at this game on rookie difficulty. It's just too easy. if you hit stick someone, you pretty much automatically fumble. You could hand the ball off and literally drop the controller and the game will run for you. I literally didn't give up a touchdown until this play. Okay, whatever. So you finally make it to the pros. You can finally edit the difficulty. You can change it from arcade to simulation if you want. And in the pros, you literally barely play. You skip the preseason, which you're a rookie. That makes sense, not playing in the preseason as a rookie on a new team. I was automatically the starter for the Bears, so my first game was the first game of the season against the Lions. I lost this game because I switched it from rookie to all Madden difficulty, and this was just such a drastic change that I wasn't ready for it. I was so used to just playing around my character, just lobbing up Hail Marys and stuff and getting easy touchdowns, and that was just such a jarring change. So after that game, I lost it. Then the game skips to week 12 against the Packers. And magically, our team is 9-1, despite one being the Bears. Not saying they're bad, but no way the Chicago Bears with a rookie quarterback is going 9-1. So I play the Packers, I win it. I advance to the playoffs. We finish 15-1. We win the Super Bowl. I win Rookie of the Year. And after this, the mode that wasn't good to begin with just becomes awful. After this point, you play your regular season games only against your rival team. And for me, it was the Packers. I play the Packers twice every season, and then you play the playoffs every year. That's it. You don't play anything else. Maybe just give us some diversity. I mean, I love playing the same team over and over and over and over. That never gets bland and boring over time. Never. Not once, not never. No way that will get boring. And even if you wanted to play other games of the season, it gives you the option, but the mode just turns into a regular connected franchise mode. You lose all the face of the franchise cutscenes. You lose the interaction with the other players on your team. EA, what is this? If you wanted to make a good mode, maybe slow it down. Let it simmer. Let the people play the season. This mode already shouldn't exist. Who buys a sports game for the story mode? Maybe I'm not the key demographic. Maybe you did some surveys and found out that people buy games for story modes, especially sports games. But I literally don't know a single person who enjoys this mode or has ever played it or ever talked about it. Literally, no one. Maybe instead of wasting your time and money on this mode and these actors, maybe try to invest into the other aspects of the games and maybe make the game better on Ultimate Team or the gameplay or the other game modes instead of just wasting your time and money over this. And I don't know, over the years of being a Madden YouTuber, I've met people who work at EA and they're just so arrogant. You can't complain about the game because they'll just blame you and act like a complete child. They act like they made this perfect game. It's just so disconnected and brain dead of EA. I don't know. I'm literally losing brain cells making this video. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't like playing story modes for games that I don't think that the story mode was I don't think the story mode is the main aspect of the game. For example, Call of Duty. Obviously there's a campaign mode in Call of Duty, but their main thing is multiplayer. People buy the game for the multiplayer. They make the game because people play multiplayer, if that makes any sense. So the campaign is just slapped on, and this just feels so slapped on that the Call of Duty campaign at least is decent. This just feels like they didn't even try. It's so sad. I mean, if you worked on this and you were very passionate about it and you're very proud of it, that's cool. But it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't work, man. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on. I forgot to mention this in my review, but when I was editing this, I got reminded of it. I think my favorite thing about Face of the Franchise is easily the fact that it's a career mode that you control the entire team. That literally isn't a career mode. You're controlling other players on the team. This isn't a franchise mode. This isn't an exhibition game. It's supposed to be a career mode. You're supposed to control your own player. And this wouldn't be such a main complaint if you made a connected franchise player, you only play as that player. You don't play as the team. So they have the ability to do it, but they're so they just didn't do it. Why did you? It's just so stupid. Oh my God. This game sucks. Let's talk about franchise mode. If you don't pay attention to Madden or just live under a rock, they're finally updating the mode. Oh wait, they're updating next year's Madden's franchise mode. It also only took it to trend on Twitter, fix connected franchise, for them to actually do something. It shouldn't take this mob for you to update it. We should have to chase you down with pitchforks and torches for you to actually update a mode that has been in literally every sports game ever. Every other sports game has this mode. Either it's cricket or golf, all of them have a similar mode and you haven't updated it for years. It's crazy that people that would complain about that. It's so wild that people would complain about that. I don't know. It's so crazy that people will complain about that, being that some people buy the game for the franchise mode and it's the same thing every year. It's wow. Someone hates to play the same thing over and over and over again and wants some like diversity or something new to make the experience enjoyable. Wow. Have you played franchise mode in the last 4 to 5 years? Because guess what? It's still like the exact same. Trading is broken. They haven't done anything to innovate it. I don't know. I think I'm hammering home on the same point over and over and over again. It's just so sad that they do nothing. And but guess what? Face the Franchise is here. So EA good. EA make good game. Andy, you stupid. Whatever. Yeah, here's the big boy. Madden Ultimate Team. The reason why most people buy the game. And just like franchise mode, it's pretty much the same game mode it has been for years. If you want to compete in this, you have to spend money. Or you can get coins from Weekend League with your lesser team that will never match the higher talent. And try to go 25-0 to actually get some good coins. And then you'll have a good team. There's always this like fake facade that people try to tell you that you can play this mode without spending money by grinding solos. But then no matter how much time you put into this mode, you will forever be behind someone that puts money into the game. If you want to go the no money spent route, you have to play this game daily for hours to even be somewhat relevant. The game mode seems to be the only thing they care about, but they haven't done anything to innovate it in such a long time. Like since Weekend League, they haven't done anything to innovate the mode. And the game over here has just become more and more pay to win. Like, I don't know, this mode is just like the least fun to talk about. It's the big boy. It's the one that everyone cares about. But it's the same thing every year. You get cards, you spend money, you buy packs. Yeah, you play and you get demolished by people that spend more money than you. There's literally like, there's skill, obviously, but at the end of the day, the better team wins. A scheme over team, Andy. Scheme over team, shut up. Come on. Dude. Honestly, who even cares about Superstar KO? They put this in the game last year, grasping at straws to get interest, and the mode literally died like almost instantly. Yeah, the yard, the thing that everyone has been clamoring about. I feel like this is what they wanted Superstar KO to be. This is an NFL Street style 6v6 mode where you and up to 3 friends can play against opponents online. You make your own player, like in EA SHL, Pro Clubs, and even NBA Live had it. This mode has been in literally every other EA Sports game for a long time, and it's just now introduced into Madden. You can customize your guy with cool gear that are designs that are literally copied and pasted from NBA Live from a couple years ago. NBA Live 18, I think. That's the last NBA Live, maybe. This mode is literally the only difference between this year's game and last year's game. And it's cool, I guess. It's a cool change, but I have serious concerns with the longevity of this mode. Sure, it's fun. Sure, it's different. But just like Superstar KO, I can see this mode dying very shortly. Either it be because of lack of additions to the game, but apparently they're planning on having a season pass style, like season updates like Call of Duty and Fortnite. My main takeaway from this is, even though you can have different fields or different games, the core gameplay of it is very luck-based, and over time, I feel like the style of gameplay is going to get boring because it's less skill-based. I feel like most of the games, it's up to luck over anything else, just passing the ball back and forth until you eventually find a way to get a touchdown. Sure, there is some skill. Like, there's skill in almost every game, but I feel like this is mostly luck. It's cool to see this, but this isn't going to keep players from playing your game. You have to put effort into all the modes. You have to put effort into MUT. You have to put it into franchise, exhibition, this, Superstar KO, the draft, everything, to keep players wanting to play this game. EA has this, disconnect where they think that one mode is going to sell their game instead of having multiple good modes. Obviously you have your MUT guys, you have your franchise guys, but every once in a while those guys are going to want to branch off into something else, and if they enjoy franchise mode, they're still going to play your game. Or if a franchise guy branches off into the yard, they're still going to enjoy the game, keep them on the game. I don't know, man. I'm not the expert in fixing EA and this, but I don't know. It's just so like bad that I used to love this franchise. I used to love every single game. I mean, I play every single game, but like I used to be so passionate about this franchise. And there's this like stigma that every single game is just a roster update from the last one. But honestly, do you blame the people who believe this? Because EA and 2K certainly aren't trying to make that statement untrue. I mean, like, the only thing I could think of to fix this is, like, obviously it's a poor business decision and they're going to lose money, but if you want to make an actual good sports game, you have to change the approach, actually innovate. Wow, incredible. I would love to see a Fortnite-style Madden, and what I mean by this is there's a base game and they constantly add to it for years instead of releasing one every single year. Maybe release a new game every 3 to 5 years instead of every single year, and like keep on updating the game. And I don't know, man. I just think Madden, like, it's this weird like scenario where it will never be good again, and that's just so sad to me. I feel like I'm yelling into the void. Either one, people won't listen to me and they'll still buy the game anyways, or the people at EA, if they ever come across this, which I highly doubt will ever happen, but if they come across this video, they'll just ignore it or call me an idiot that doesn't know what he's talking about, and they'll just go and sit on their high horse until the end of time. I don't know. This game is just so bland. 5 out of 10. See ya, man. If you want to keep up to date with what I'm watching, make sure to check out my Letterboxd, or even check out my podcast, Too Casual Podcast. Links in the description. Check it out.